Today, I'm going to fill this box full of decluttered items. What's the big deal, you say? Here's the big deal. I found 11 categories of the hardest things for me to declutter, and I'm doing it today, and I'm going to require myself to put at least one thing from each category in this box. Are you ready? This may not even end up being put up. I don't know.
You and I, the future is bright.
I want to thank Michelle from My Everyday Wife Life because this challenge was her idea, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be doing this at all. And I want to thank you because I can't do it alone, and I'm only doing this because, well, I wanted to make it hard on myself. I've been decluttering all through the month of February into the month of March, and I want to go deep this time. So I'm going to give you the 11 categories hardest for me to declutter. If you can relate to any of these categories, I want you to tell me in the comment section below. Even if you just drop the number that I gave to the category and give me a little sad emoji, then I'll at least know I'm not alone and you're feeling it too. So let's get going, because if I wait too long, I won't do it. Number 11 would be things I bought and never used. I have two things for this. This is a cell phone holder for your car, and you put this in the cup holder and you can have your cell phone right there, which is a great idea, except we never used it. Then this is also for cell phones, and it's an armband that you can use when you're exercising. Never used it. Number 10 is things I loved but won't likely use again. In my spring decorate video, I took down this picture and this one. I love them, but I just don't think I'm going to use them again. So I'm going to get rid of them. It's very sad. Number 9 is things I bought and spent a good deal of money on and did not work very well for me at all. I don't really want to sell them because I can't in good conscience sell something that I know doesn't work. First, waste of money. I bought this steamer at Walmart and I only spent like $30 on it, which I think is why it doesn't work well. But let's put that aside and you think, $30, that's not a big deal. Well, how about this? How about this $180 air fryer that I bought for my husband at Kohl's? I don't know if my stuff's gonna fit in this box. And it doesn't work well at all. It's awful. I hate it. It doesn't even work good. I'm telling you, it took us forever to cook French fries. Number 8. Let's move on. Things I might need later and don't want to have to buy again. If there's any homeschoolers in the house, I want you to raise your hand now. I have more than just homeschooling, but I'm always buying these for homeschooling for me to put my papers in, and I keep finding them in the basement. I can't seem to get rid of them. They just keep multiplying. Homeschool textbooks. It's really hard to get rid of homeschool textbooks because as a homeschooler, even if your kids outgrow it, like this math book or this science book, you think, well, maybe my grandkids will need them. But you know what? Maybe by the time my grandkids go to school, if they homeschool, there'll be better books out there and they'll be glad I didn't pass those down. Oh, and also random science supplies. I don't need this. I have other tape measures. This is a stopwatch that I kept thinking the kids would have fun with it, but nobody uses it. Goggles. This is our third pair of goggles. I think we're good. Also, I have these trays that I had in my kitchen pantry, and when I just did my kitchen pantry over, I took these out, and I really don't think I'm going to use them again. And honestly, I could buy them again if I really had to. So my box is getting full, but we're going to keep going. Number 7, things I saved to sell but never sold them. Ice cream maker. My mom bought me this years ago, and you know, it works great, but it's just not big enough for my family. It was probably big enough for my family when she bought it, but it was a lot of kids ago. I got 7 kids, so I probably had 2 or 3 when she bought it for me. Number 6 is things that take work to get rid of. I chose a small can of paint because my box is not that big. But to get rid of paint, you have to go and get the stuff that you put in the paint to dry it up so that the dump will take the paint can. So I never end up going and getting the stuff that you have to put in here to dry up the paint. So it's time. I'm going to go to get it today, Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere, or maybe Amazon. There's an idea. Number 5, things that were gifts and I feel guilty to get rid of them. Here's a book that a friend gave me and I never read it. And I've heard such great things about this book, and I kind of started into chapter 1 and I couldn't connect to it. Getting rid of it. And then my husband got me this jewelry box when he went on a business trip years ago, and I just haven't used it. I don't really keep a lot of jewelry, and necklaces and stuff would get tangled in here. I could really only keep rings in there, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I feel kind of bad. We're getting down to the harder ones. Oh, number 4. This one's so important for all of us. So clothes that are too small that I think I'm gonna fit into again. Wah, 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 wah. I have this shirt. I love this color on me. See? I love this color on me. It's going. It's too tight around the hip area. I love this color on me, but again, it's just too tight. So I've actually had it for years. It's going. I can get another. Look, when we lose weight, let's go get new clothes. So let's free ourselves from having all this stuff in our closet. When I see this, it doesn't bring me joy. It makes me feel bad, sad, and ashamed that it doesn't fit me anymore. So let's get rid of it. It doesn't bring joy. Number 3 are those things we want to find the right home for. This is more my husband's thing. He's done a lot of preaching and teaching of the Bible, and he has a lot of commentaries and a lot of books he knows he's not going to use again, but he wants to put them in the right hands so he doesn't get rid of them. And we've just decided we've got to do it. And I convinced him that when you go to Goodwill, you see all kinds of people circling those books and looking hard at them. And so the right person's going to come get those books of his. Okay, I feel like I need a little brevity here. So I'm going to show this one next. This beautiful, lovely coconut shell. So here's the story. This isn't mine, so it's really easy. It would be easy for me to get rid of. This is just an example of something I got rid of in the past, but I thought it made the point, so I'm going to share it with you today. My husband's prom was a luau, and he just had the best time, and they served drinks and coconut shells, and he kept his coconut shells. Me, when we got married our first year, not realizing how precious the coconut shell was, I was going to a white elephant swap at church, and I needed to grab something quick, and you can see where this story is going right now. I grabbed the coconut shell and I got rid of it, and he was sad. He was so sad. So like last year, which is, I don't know, 29 years later, we got a coconut from the store and he kept the shell. And now I know better. I'm not getting rid of this. But when something is attached to a memory, like this coconut, this isn't really my issue unless it's a memory of a person, which we'll get to. But it can be for him. So when it's attached to a memory, it can be really hard to get rid of. And that was number 2. Are you ready for this? Number 1, last and hardest. Sentimental items handed down generation to generation. Things like this beauty here. I have 2 sets of dishes. Oh goodness. I have 2 sets of dishes that I don't use, and they have been handed down. These are actually for my husband's. But what I'm really thinking about right now is a box of my mom's things that my sister sent me. I would wait and do this when I'm not so emotional, but I don't think that time's gonna come. All right, first let me tell you what I'm gonna do with the dishes. So it's a full set of dishes, china, and then another one that I'm not, whatever, just take too long to show you. So they're beautiful, and we don't really use them, but what we do use is the teacups. My girls always loved to have tea parties. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save a teacup for each of them, and then I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the rest of the dishes. And I'm going to contact somebody who deals with antiques, and I'm going to see what he has to tell me. So what I should do with them. But the other thing I have, and I think that'll bring joy to my girls because they'll each have, and my boys too, maybe I'll give them, maybe their wife would like that, or they'll have a daughter or something, so they can have their own tea parties. We'd always have tea parties with my mom when she came and the girls. But what I have is a box of my mom's jewelry and things. I've had the rest of the family go through them first, my sisters and their families, and then my sister sent it to me. And I need to let my kids go through them. I have a couple of things my sister gave me, and I'm happy with that. I don't normally attach myself to things. It's not usually an issue that I have. Okay. The hard thing about this box is it's not mine, it's my mom's and some of my dad's stuff. And I don't want it to be anyone else's. I want it to be hers, but she's not here. And I know she'd want her grandkids to have it, so it's something I have to do. You might have seen it if you have been watching my videos. It sits beside my bed, looking like clutter, because it's just a cardboard box. But I just can't bring myself to open it up and tell the kids they can pick their stuff. So I'm really hoping that it'll be my next decluttering box challenge. It's not filling one box, but emptying that box. I try really hard to be real on my channel, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm more than I am, that I'm some superwoman, or that I have endless energy, or that I never get tired, or that my house is always clean. I always want to show you guys the real thing. And so I'm including this because this is the real thing. And if it's hard for you to get rid of things, maybe you're moving, maybe you're downsizing, which I will be doing eventually. I can't keep all this stuff. It has to go. So if you are in that situation, I do want you to know that you're not alone, that I understand. And we're all in this together. And I'm going to show you my box of all the 11 things. If I missed a category, put it down in the description, or put it down in the comment section. I know it's going to help everyone. And I'm going to give myself a minute. I'm going to put some of these dishes in that box to represent the fact that I am going to let them go. And I want you to know that whatever you're going through, we all go through things. We have a great community here. If you want to subscribe, you'll look at the comment section in all of my videos. You'll see just a really supportive group of women. And I hope you always know that no matter what you're going through, God loves you, and I love you too. I'll be visiting with you in the comments, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye. As I said before, this collab was hosted by Michelle from My Everyday Wife Life. It's an open collab, so there's going to be lots of creators that have participated. I'm going to have the full playlist in my description box below so that you can be motivated by what everyone else is decluttering, as well as me.